And again, the Ballerina animatronic is gonna be in a different episode, so no, I did not forget it, because I know that's coming. But anyway, much love to everybody out there, and of course, I will... Hello again, YouTube! This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm here with Scribblenauts Unlimited, the object editor commentaries. This is where I create whatever is the most popular or most requested objects each week. Objects or characters, I should specify. So that's every week here in the Scribblenauts Unlimited object editor. This is only available for the Wii U and PC versions of this game, so not 3DS or mobile devices. We've started off with a ballerina. You're gonna want the female ballerina, although it probably really doesn't matter too much. But if you're just going based off of this design, we're gonna go ahead with the female ballerina. Hopefully you saw that I took off the head and the arms, and then we've actually turned on the green grids. You can press basically on your panel of buttons and commands to the left side of the screen. The top right button in there activates these green grids that can basically show you where all the moving parts are of your object or character. And so with that, I turned those on, and you can see where the head and the arms were, and we put the arms tilted up because we're gonna be creating Ballora from Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. This is gonna complete at least from the first trailer. Now, certainly there have been other teaser images and things on Scott Games, so perhaps we'll create those if demand is high enough, but this will finish out and round out the trailer animatronics. And yes, I'm specifically talking about animatronics, not everything else that's in the trailer, like the dolls and stuff like that. So, putting on a Tutu, that's actually gonna be for the Tutu. We're not gonna have enough stamp space to put the little dots, the little balls that are on the Tutu all around it. I took the front fin of a viper fish right here, and that's going to be like for the thighs of Ballora right there, covering up the ballerina legs. And a neck brace is going to be sort of underneath the Tutu right there for the rest of her torso. And then on the 10th page of the 29-page library, there's this mummy arm, and I thought that this was like so perfect. This was so amazing to use this because Ballora has these, you know, ballerina shoes on or whatever with these blue straps going up the legs, and so the mummy arm is supposed to sort of be, I guess, from the ankle up to basically the knee, pretty much, of Ballora right here. And then we're gonna use a mango. That's what we're gonna make for the shoes, like she's standing on her tippy toes like a ballerina. On point. So, of course, if I didn't mention the viper fish fins, those are twice, you know, for each thigh, so that's why it's two that are kind of together, close together. And then a squid, we're gonna take the upper tentacle piece, so it's basically just a black line pretty much for the squid right here. That's going to be straight down the middle, straight up and down. And you can put it behind the Tutu and behind the neck brace and all that so that it can be a little bit thicker. The line can be thicker. You don't have to, you know, shrink down the squid tentacle so that it's really tiny and fits and won't be hanging out anywhere or anything like that. Hopefully that makes sense. But then two spheres are for the chest. You catch my drift. The chest. And then the dinosaur is what we typed in for the neck. You could just take the neck piece of the dinosaur. Really, there are so many different stamps you could use for that neck piece. It almost doesn't matter. You just need sort of a straight up and down piece. Sphinx, I actually took the back leg of a sphinx. That's gonna be for like the very little amount of what looks like clothing. I mean, it's just more design on the animatronic right there. Over the chest. Again, treading lightly on this one. But certainly a lot of people are putting on a Lenny face right now. But then a Manticore, we took kind of the three-piece part of the tail, so it's like the grayish-brown looking part of the Manticore's tail. That's gonna be for some jewels and stuff down here below the neck. And then viper fish fins once again to make up the biceps of the arms, and then right there from the elbow kind of to the wrist is gonna be a crash test dummy, the arm of the crash test dummy. We did that because there's sort of these two different tones to it or whatever. You know, I can paint one gray and then have the other one be sort of whitish gray. And then hand. You know, if you want to go with glove, you could do that, but I think that the hand is a little bit better because the thumb is closer into the rest of the fingers and stuff. And so, sticky hand, you know, whatever you want to use, that's all good. So all that's left really is just kind of making minor adjustments. But one thing that did pop up is the stamp space limitations. I mentioned this in almost every commentary now, but basically Scribblenauts Unlimited, though it has the name Scribblenauts Unlimited, it does have a limit to how much stamp space you can use. A stamp is any object or word that we typed in to make our main object overall. So like those viper fish fins, the hand, the crash test dummy arm, all of those, each individual thing that I've put on is a stamp piece. You do have a limit. So sometimes I know that Five Nights fans like to nitpick that, but you've got to understand how this game works. That's actually why we're creating the head and the body separately so that we can get more stamp space. We'll talk about that in a little bit because we'll create Ballora's head separately. But right now I'll just kind of say a few words since we're on the properties editor and the scripting and all that. The last Sister Location episode with Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy had the usual positivity that I get from the core of my audience and some new viewers, of course. But I knew that since it was a video about Five Nights at Freddy's that it would also garner some cringe-worthy nitpicks and baseless hate. That wasn't my first rodeo at all when it comes to Freddy's fans. So I issued statements during the commentary of that episode asking for positivity and explaining how I didn't forget Ballora, not at all, but rather, Ballora was next in line to be made. The slew of negativity and comments saying, "You forgot Ballora," mixed in with you epic positive supporters comments, of course, was unnecessary and really just unacceptable. Unacceptable! I've been doing this channel now for almost 4 years, and definitely have never had a week as bad with the comment section as that week was. Fortunately, it's let up finally, but I'll just say there's always a time for honest opinions brought out in a civil and tactful manner, which I'm completely fine with, but there's never a need for rudeness and such a degree of irrationality. So I'm willing to give this another shot with the Five Nights fans for this video, but if you ever see a comment section actually disabled on a video of mine, very rare, but yes, this mini speech that I just gave is the reasoning, and it's a perfectly logical reason to do it, not like what this guy thinks. But okay, we're starting off with a head as the source object because now we've got to finish it off and create Ballora's head. So I'm gonna take a rabbit, just go with the kind of middle body piece of the rabbit's body right there. That's gonna be for the cheeks and the kind of chin part on either side of the head right now. I am gonna do chicken nugget for the ear right here, and that's just to kind of space things out correctly and position them correctly. And we will get the ear on the other side after I put down a few more stamps like this. This is a cobia, the fin of a cobia, which is a fish, kind of that front fin there on its side. And paint that all black, and we're gonna put a few more of those down for some of the lips and things like that, but I'm just sort of going out of order, making sure that I have things in the right position. I'm sort of placing things all over the head right now because we're gonna need to move them in the correct position so that it's all lined up correctly. And a lobster, taking that kind of, I guess, in essence, its pincer, you know, its claw, and that's going to be for the top of Ballora's head. And then I've got a tiger shark taking the back fin that's in the front. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it's the one that's behind, you know, those two front fins. Well, taking the one that's behind. And those are going to be for the eyes. Ballora's eyes are closed in the trailer, and that's what we're creating the designs based off of, was the Sister Location trailer, the first one that ever released. So I know that when this video gets viewed in the future and maybe there's another trailer, this is the first one that was released. And so I put down a tiara. That's mostly to save stamp space, just to kind of have one stamp to convey what that is back behind her, but she does have kind of like this hair clip tiara in the back of what would be her hair. Obviously, it's an animatronic or humanoid robot. A scorpion, kind of this middle tail piece, is going to be for the nose, same one we used for baby's nose. And then whisker is going to be for some eyelashes, and we're going to need to put down a lot more, it looks like. I don't think just one on both eyes is going to work out. A ball is not only for the earrings, but also here for the cheek. On this side, it'd be to our left, but Ballora's right cheek. And then I also put down a squid, that upper tentacle piece again, to kind of make that line, because as you guys know, seeing the trailer and whatnot, the Sister Location animatronics, they can actually move the pieces of their head all around. You know, it's like they come apart and then reassemble. Well, that's to convey that right there. And then for the side lines and everything, we're probably not going to have enough stamp space to do another one, but I wanted this bunny body right there to kind of convey that there are some side lines where it would come apart. In essence, you know, again, saving stamp space, but also conveying that point still. And I took a 29-page library arm shape from the 20th page and did that twice for the eyebrows there above the eyes and the whiskers. I am putting down more whiskers. It looks like we did reach the stamp limit with that last whisker eyelash that we're putting down, because I do have a cobia fin to also be the lipstick, as well as the cheek that's on the other side, which would be to our right, Ballora's left. And then that same Manticore piece for some jewels there on the forehead, or just above the forehead perhaps. And then one thing to pay attention to, and definitely do in the properties editor whenever you have the head separate from the body and you're creating them as two separate objects, you want to go to the equipment tab and check off this circle that says can be worn on the face like glasses. You can also do can be worn on the head like a hat, you know, for instance, like I created Malachite from Steven Universe, and for that we had a separate head which was for glasses, but then for the hat was the Malachite hair, because her hair was big and crazy like that. So, you know, if you wanted to do like a three-piece object, you could do it that way. But anyway, we've got our Ballora right here on screen, along with the characters from the past episodes that I've done for Sister Location, because I did create Baby and the fun times there, so now you can see them all together. And again, we finally rounded it out with, of course, my avatar that I edited, which is Funtime Kendo, holding a little Kendo puppet. Thank you for the positive reactions to that all of you gave on the episode, the last episode where I created the Funtime characters. So again, these are just from the trailer, not anything like the Scott Games teasers or anything like that, so nobody was forgotten, nothing was forgotten. I've created these characters within the confines of Scribblenauts Unlimited and the stamp space, even with the loopholes, like creating heads and bodies separately and all that. So trust me, I know what they look like. I know that there have been other teasers on scottgames.com on the website. I did not forget anybody. Again, specifically look at the word forgot. Forgot. But okay, I really love your support, and I love the support of new viewers who came in from that last Sister Location episode. It's great to generate excitement for this game and for this community. I guess I'll go ahead and give the official confirmation here. I did in the comments section, but Five Nights at Kendo's is coming. So check it out this July. Not too far away now. So I will catch you guys on the next vid, and as always, thanks for viewing. So I step on other lives, twists and turns, and I made the cycles end with dignity and courage. Now I hope to God that everyone can learn something from what I say, and hopefully you flourish. Getting down to the meta.